Welcome back to NDC. Today we're going to be exploring the official way to call Gemini from an iOS app, which actually goes through Firebase AI Logic. I'll be showing you how to access the free tier so you can test it out, and I'll show you how to set up the Firebase project, SDK install, and a working question answer app like we have here. So I'm going to ask Gemini in the app in one sentence, explain Swift data in Swift. It'll do some thinking. It's going to go ahead and give us our response. Swift data is Apple's modern declarative persistence framework, yada, yada, yada. So we're going to go ahead and rebuild this chat app. You can apply this same logic to your apps, whether that's a text bot or maybe something with images or analyzing PDFs. It's up to you. Let's go ahead and dive on in. Alrighty, before we write any code, we're actually going to be starting off in Firebase. So you'll want to head over to firebase.google.com, link for anything we talk about today in the description below. So you're going to want to go to the console, and if you don't already have a project, this is where you're going to want to create it. So we're going to create a new Firebase project. I'm going to call it AI Chatbot. You can choose to join the Google Developer Program if you'd like. Otherwise, let's go ahead and continue. And we're going to need to enable Gemini in Firebase. Once you've done that, you can continue. You can choose to include analytics for your Firebase project, totally up to you, or you can leave it off. Then it's going to go ahead and prepare a project. This should only take a few moments. Then it'll let you know when it's all ready. It's funny, we can actually chat with Gemini if we want in here. Otherwise, I'm going to close the chat window. So once you're on this page, we just need to add an iOS app. We're going to click the cogwheel here, and we'll go to General. From here, it'll say there's no apps in our project. We're going to click on the Apple iOS. Then we need to register the app. So let's quickly hop on into Xcode, and we'll create our project. So I'm going to be doing mine as an iOS app template. I'm going to call mine Gemini example. SwiftUI. Interface SwiftUI, language Swift. Now that our project's been created, we're going to click on our app project at the top here, and we're going to copy our bundle identifier. We'll paste it in the Apple bundle ID, and we can give it a nickname. So I'm going to put Gemini app. And if you do have it on the App Store, you want to include the app ID, you can do that here. Otherwise, we'll register the app. We're then going to want to download the GoogleService-Info.plist. That's going to go to your downloads folder. You're then going to drag and drop it into your project directory. You're going to copy the files to the destination. And you'll notice here, mine has the number 2. I've downloaded this multiple times. This does need to just be GoogleService-Info.plist. If it does have a number, rename it in Xcode. I'm also going to be having this blurred out because this has an API key. If you do copy my repo from GitHub, you will need to add your own Google Service-Info to your own project. Okay, the next step is we need to add the Firebase SDK. So we'll be using the Firebase iOS SDK. We're going to go ahead and copy that to our clipboards. Back in Xcode, we're going to go to the top of our Mac, File, Add Package Dependencies. We're going to paste that in the search for package URL on the top right. It'll load for a moment or two. We can see we have the Firebase iOS SDK. Now this is a pretty large SDK, and we're going to make sure that we're adding up to next major version, and we'll add the package. This one might take a few moments to fetch and download, as there's quite a lot of different information and different parts of this package you can choose to include or not. Okay, we can see that we have tons of different options here. It's actually scrollable. The one that we're really going to be looking at here is the Firebase AI, and we're going to add that to our app project. If you're using things like analytics, you can of course add them here. If you're using authentication, right? There are tons of different options. However, for our purposes today, we're just going to be focusing on the Firebase AI and add that one package. Okay, we can then go next, and we're going to be getting some installation code in step 4 here, and we're going to want it to be on SwiftUI. We're going to go ahead and copy the code here. We're actually going to highlight the code. We're going to Command-C to copy it all. We're then going to go to our app file, so it should be whatever the name of your project is, followed by app. We're actually going to replace this. We're going to paste it. Then in our main struct here, where it says your app, we're just going to re-reference our Gemini example SwiftUI app instead. And if you are booting to something other than content view, of course, update it here. If you do get any errors here on the import, this could just be because you haven't implemented the Firebase API properly from the SDK, so make sure you've added it through the Swift Package Manager. Essentially what this code does is it configures and reads our GoogleService-Info.plist and sets up the connection to your Firebase project. This is all you really need. Without it, every Firebase call will actually fail silently. Okay, and we can press next, and pretty much our next step is to go to the console and make some changes. In the Firebase console, we need to enable the Gemini API. We're going to find the AI section. For me, it's on the left side. We're going to select the AI Logic. We can see here Firebase AI Logic, add generative AI to your Firebase apps. Perfect, this is what we're looking to add. So let's go ahead and get started. And we're going to get started with the Gemini Developer API. We can see get started at no cost and upgrade to pay as you go pricing if you do need more. Otherwise, we're going to be just focusing on what we can do for free today. Let's get started with the API and we're going to enable it. It's also a good idea to do this at the start of your process because it might take a few minutes to actually have this be enabled for you to make the API calls. You can see API is enabled. If you want to enable the AI monitoring, totally up to you. And you can learn more with the Firebase AI Logic, but we'll be covering it when we go through this later. The nice thing is we don't actually get an API key here. Firebase is going to manage the API key for us. We do not need to put any API key into our app code. That's one of the big differences from the old SDK. Firebase handles authentication through the GoogleService-Info.plist. Okay, now on to the fun part. Let's go to our content view or whatever view you're going to be using to actually access this API. And let's do an import. The import we're going to be using is the Firebase AI. Now we're going to need three things: a reference to the Gemini model, a text field for the user questions, and a place to display the response. Let's first initialize the Gemini model through the Firebase AI Logic. So we'll establish our model, which is going to equal the capital F Firebase capital AI. You can see that we can reference it here. Then we'll use the .Firebase AI. Within the brackets, we're going to include a backend. This backend, we're going to use a colon, then the .Google AI. So the .Google AI uses the Gemini Developer API, which is just the free tier that we're going to be using today. We can add another property here, and we'll use the .generative model. We can use the autofill, and you can choose what you want for the model name. I believe there's Gemini 2, 2.5, Flash, etc. The one we're going to be using today is the Gemini-2.5-Flash. You can find all of these models through the documentation. Okay, let's create some state private vars. These are going to be for the user prompt. Have it equal an empty string. We'll have another state private var. And this is going to be for the AI response. Again, an empty string. And then finally, we're going to have a state private var for is loading, and that's going to be Boolean set to be false by default. So the model is initialized with two things: the backend set to Google AI, which uses the free Gemini Developer API, and the model name given, I'm using the Gemini 2.5 Flash. If you want to use 3.0, or if there's a newer one by the time this video comes out, feel free to update this. There's no API key anywhere in this specific code. Firebase handles all of that through the plist. Okay, let's create a really simple UI where we can have these calls and responses. So I'm just going to add a title here. We'll set the font to be large title. Then let's add a scroll view so we can actually have the area for the AI response. Within the scroll view, let's have the display for the AI response. We'll add a text view and we'll have it display the AI response. If it is empty, we can use our ternary operator to say, ask me anything, ... so the users know. Otherwise, we use our colon, we'll display that AI response. You can add a frame if you'd like. I would suggest using the max width, which I'll be setting to infinity, as well as an alignment to have it be leading. I think that's some nice style. We'll add some style to the scroll view as well. Just really quickly, we'll add a background, and let's have that be based off of the color of the system gray. And we'll add a clip shape here, so it looks a little bit nicer of the rounded rectangle. With that one, we're gonna need the corner radius, not corner size, corner radius. Let's do 12. So let's make this the system gray 6. Yeah, there we go. It's not as intrusive, maybe 5. And maybe a little bit of padding after the text too, so it's not as clustered. Perfect. Okay, after our scroll view, let's go ahead and add an H-stack, and this is where we're going to be having the user's input. So we'll just do a simple text field, which will have the placeholder of ask a question. We can also include the text value, which is going to be that binding of the user's prompt. A little bit of a text field style here. We can use the rounded border for that one. And then let's now add a button, and this button is going to trigger a function of sendMessage. And this is going to be a button that calls the Gemini API. Let's add a quick label. We'll use the system image here, so we'll do image system name, and this will be based off of whether it's loading or not. So if it is loading, we can be showing the ellipses. Otherwise, we'll have the paper plane. These are just built-in SF symbols. Actually, I'm gonna do paper plane.fill. I think that one might look a little bit better. And we'll add our font. And from here it'll be .title2. We can also have this be disabled based off of the user prompt being empty. Or use the double line. The is loading state is true. So just a little bit of, good housekeeping to do here with our buttons. So now we're going to create the function that calls Gemini. It's going to be async because the API call happens over the network. So before our last brace in our content view, let's go ahead and create a funct called sendMessage with empty parameters. We'll then add our brace. Cool, so let's first store the prompt and clear the input field immediately. So we'll establish what the prompt is, which is going to equal that user prompt. Then we'll go ahead and clear that user prompt to equal an empty string. And our isLoading is going to be set to true. And our AI response going to be set to blank as well. Then we're going to call the Gemini API asynchronously. So we'll need a task followed by a do, and this is how we're going to send the prompt to Gemini model and await the response. So we'll say let response to equal try await. We'll use the model.generate content. Use the autofill here, and we're going to be throwing in the prompt. Then we want to extract the text from the response. So we're going to look at the AI response, and that's going to equal the response.text. And then we'll use our nil classing operator, and we can say no response found if nothing does come through. After our do, we need to include our catch. So we'll add our catch in our brace, and we'll have our AI response equal maybe an error. So this will equal, we'll do the error. And then we can actually string interpolate our error.localized description. So the users know what happens, and we can display that message if the API call fails, whether that's we've run out of tokens, no connection to the network, etc. Now after the catch, we'd have our isLoading to equal false. So this is how basic we're keeping our app today. One model initialization, one async function call, and one response. The generate content method sends your prompt to Gemini and returns the result. The response.text property gives you the string. So this is our full file for today, but of course there's so much more that you can do with Gemini. Let's go ahead and run it and test it out. Okay, and here we now have our app. Definitely check out the console if you do find any weird errors. Otherwise, we can see Gemini API, ask me anything. I'm going to go ahead and ask it a question. I'll say, explain SwiftUI to me in one sentence. Let's go ahead and send that off. Let's see, it's loading here. There we go, and we have our answer. SwiftUI uses Swift to declaratively build native user interfaces from Apple. There we go. We now have our answer, and it is in the scroll view as well. So Gemini responds right inside the app. Let's try another one. I'm going to ask it to explain optionals in Swift like I'm 5. We'll see that it goes in. It's going to take a second to load. You might want to add animation, something else. And there we go. Okay, imagine you have a lunchbox. There we go. We have our text response explaining optionals to us like we're 5. I like the lunchbox example with a yummy cookie. But there we go. We have something that's fast, accurate, and running entirely from a SwiftUI view with about 40 or so lines of actual code, no backend server, no API key management. Firebase handles the authentication, then Gemini handles the intelligence. Again, this code will be available on my GitHub if you want this super basic example. However, let's talk a little bit about ideas. Now that you have Gemini running in your app, here's are some ideas where you can take this. You can do a multi-turn chat. The SDK has a start chat method that maintains conversation history automatically. You don't manage the message array yourself. Here, every time we're essentially clearing it and showing the new response. However, Gemini remembers context across turns. This can turn the single question app into a full chat experience. Gemini is also very capable of image analysis. You can maybe create a PDF summarizer that you can actually send and upload PDF documentation to Gemini and ask it to extract key points, as well as streaming responses. Instead of waiting for this full response here, you can use the generate content stream to get tokens as they arrive. This can give you more of that typewriter effect, where the text is kind of appearing on the screen as it's being typed out, rather than when it kind of just appears all at once. And again, you could think of things like animations to support that. And remember, because this is through Firebase, you can actually use the Firebase app check for production security. You'll notice right down here, we have the app check, and we can actually register for the app check here. This way you can have remote configuration for switching models without an app update and add analytics for tracking usage. The ecosystem is the reason Google pushed everything into Firebase. And before I forget, if you do want to monitor your usage on the sample apps, you can go to the AI monitoring tab, and you can see the requests, the success rate, latency, as well as the tokens that have been used. So here's like the input amount of text, output amount of text, the thinking, whether that's image, video, audio, documents as well. So you can actually track the usage and even through different timelines here. So you can also have the traces and all of the different prompts that have been used and tested. So that's it for Gemini AI and SwiftUI using the correct current SDK, Firebase AI Logic, not the depreciated standalone package. An outro, I'm going to ask Gemini to help me out with that one. So here's my outro thanks to Gemini, and there you have it. You've successfully integrated the incredible power of Gemini directly into your SwiftUI application. How cool is that? You're now equipped to build incredibly smart, responsive, and interactive iOS experiences. Light pause, enthusiastic tone. Now, if you want to dive deeper, grab all the code from this tutorial, or just have a handy reference, I've linked my GitHub project for this tutorial down in the description below. Go check it out. It includes everything we covered and more. I have to gesture towards the description, apparently. And if you found this tutorial helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe for more SwiftUI and AI integration tips, and let me know in the comments what intelligent features you're excited to build next with Gemini. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. And of course, dream big, code bigger, and have a great rest of your day.